Military comparison between the United States and China. The United States and China are two of the most powerful nations in the world, with their military capabilities playing a central role in global geopolitics. As the world's leading superpower, the US has long maintained a dominant position in terms of military strength, technology, and global reach. However, China has rapidly modernized its armed forces over the past few decades, emerging as a formidable rival. This article examines the military strengths and strategies of both nations across various domains. 1. Overview of Armed Forces. United States active personnel, 1.3 million reserve personnel, 800,000 defense budget, 2023, $800 billion. The largest in the world. Global presence. Over 750 military bases worldwide, spanning every continent except Antarctica. China active personnel, 2.1 million. The largest standing army in the world. Reserve personnel, 500,000 defense budget, 2023, $290 billion. Second largest globally. Global presence. Limited overseas bases, with one established base in Djibouti and growing influence in regions like Africa and the South China Sea. Key observations. The US spends far more on defense than China but has a smaller active military force. China's military is focused on regional dominance, particularly in Asia, while the US maintains a global presence. 2. Ground forces. Army capabilities. United States main battle tanks, MBTs, 6,000, e.g., M1 Abrams, armored vehicles, 40,000 plus, e.g., Bradley fighting vehicle, Stryker, artillery. Advanced systems like the M109 Paladin self-propelled howitzer and HIMARS, high-mobility artillery rocket system. Special Operations Forces. Elite units like Delta Force, Navy SEALs, and Green Berets. China main battle tanks, MBTs, 6,500, e.g., Type 99A, Type 96, armored vehicles, 8,000 plus, e.g., ZBDO-4 infantry fighting vehicle, artillery. Systems like the PCL-181 truck-mounted howitzer and PHLO-3 multiple rocket launcher. Special Operations Forces. Units like the People's Liberation Army Special Operations Forces, PLASOF. Though less experienced in global operations compared to US counterparts. Key observations. The US Army emphasizes mobility, precision strikes, and integration with air and naval forces. China's ground forces are larger and focus on defending territorial integrity, particularly against potential conflicts over Taiwan or border disputes. 3. Air power. The Sky Battle. United States combat aircraft, 2,300 plus, e.g., F-22 Raptor, F-35 Lightning II, F-15 Eagle, F-16 Fighting Falcon, bombers. Strategic bombers like the B-2 Spirit, B-1 Lancer, and B-52 Stratofortress. Helicopters. 5,000 plus, e.g., Apache attack helicopters, Black Hawk utility helicopters. Drone fleet. Advanced UAVs like the MQ-9 Reaper and RQ-4 Global Hawk. China combat aircraft. 1,700 plus, e.g., J-20 stealth fighter, J-16 multirole fighter, J-10C bombers. Older models like the H-6K, based on the Soviet Tu-16 design, supplemented by newer variants. Helicopters. 1,500 plus, e.g., Z-10 attack helicopter, Z-20 utility helicopter. Drone fleet. Growing UAV capabilities, including the Wing Long series and CH series drones. Key observations. The U.S. Air Force is unmatched in terms of stealth technology, range, and global strike capability. China's Air Force is rapidly modernizing, with the J-20 representing its first operational fifth-generation fighter, but it still lags behind the U.S. in experience and diversity of platforms. 4. Naval strength. Control of the seas. United States aircraft carriers. 11 nuclear-powered carriers, e.g., Nimitz class, Gerald R. Ford class. Submarines. 68, e.g., Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, Virginia-class attack submarines. Destroyers, frigates. 92, e.g., Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, Zumwalt-class destroyers. Amphibious ships. 31, e.g., Wasp-class, America-class amphibious assault ships. China aircraft carriers. 3. Liaoning, Shandong, Fujian, with limited operational experience. Submarines. 70, e.g., Jin-class ballistic missile submarines, Yuan-class diesel-electric submarines. Destroyers, frigates. 150 plus, e.g., Type 055 destroyer, Type 052D destroyer. Amphibious ships. 50 plus, including landing platform docks, LPDs, and tank landing ships, LSTs. Key observations. The U.S. Navy dominates the seas with its carrier strike groups, advanced submarines, and global reach. China's Navy is expanding rapidly, focusing on anti-access, area denial, A2AD strategies in the South China Sea and the Indo-Pacific region. 5. Nuclear arsenal. Deterrence and doctrine. United States nuclear warheads, 5,200, deployed in reserve stockpile. Delivery systems. Triad of ICBMs, e.g., Minuteman III, SLBMs, e.g., Trident II, and strategic bombers, e.g., B-2, B-52. Doctrine. Flexible response, emphasizing deterrence and second strike capability. China nuclear warheads, 410, estimated, growing rapidly. Delivery systems. DF-41 ICBM, JL-2 SLBM, H-6K bomber. Doctrine. Minimum credible deterrence, focusing on survivability and counter-value targeting. Key observations. The U.S. maintains a robust and diversified nuclear triad, ensuring second strike capability. China's nuclear arsenal is smaller but expanding, with advancements in hypersonic glide vehicles, HGVs, and solid-fuel ICBMs. 6. Space and cyber warfare. The new frontiers. United States space capabilities dominate space with satellites for communication, navigation, GPS, and reconnaissance. Organizations like the Space Force and DARPA led innovation. Cyber warfare. Advanced cyber capabilities through agencies like Cyber Command and the NSA. China space capabilities. Rapidly developing anti-satellite, ASAT, weapons, satellite constellations, and lunar exploration programs. Cyber warfare. Invests heavily in offensive and defensive cyber operations, targeting critical infrastructure and intellectual property. Key observations. The U.S. leads in space technology but faces growing competition from China. Both nations view cyberspace as a critical domain for future conflicts. 7. Defense technology and indigenous development. United States relies on cutting-edge research and development, with companies like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and Northrop Grumman driving innovation. Partnerships with NATO allies ensure interoperability and shared technology. China focuses on indigenous development through state-owned enterprises like Norinco and private firms like Huawei. Leverages espionage and reverse engineering to acquire foreign technologies. Key observations. The U.S. benefits from a mature defense industrial base and international collaboration. China's rapid progress in areas like hypersonics and AI reflects its commitment to achieving technological parity. 8. Strategic alliances and influence. United States leads alliances like NATO, the Quad, with Japan, India, and Australia, and AUKUS, with the UK and Australia. Maintains strong partnerships with Israel, South Korea, and Gulf states. China builds relationships through economic initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, and organizations like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. Strengthens ties with Russia, Iran, and African nations. Key observations. The U.S. leverages alliances to project power and maintain global stability. China uses economic leverage to expand its influence, particularly in developing regions. Conclusion. The military comparison between the United States and China reveals a complex balance of power. The U.S. remains the dominant global military force, with unparalleled technology, global reach, and alliances. However, China's rapid modernization, focus on regional dominance, and investments in emerging technologies pose significant challenges. While the U.S. excels in traditional domains like air and naval power, China's asymmetric strategies, such as A2AD and cyber warfare, aim to counterbalance American superiority. As tensions rise in regions like the Indo-Pacific, the outcome of this rivalry will shape the future of global security. Both nations must navigate this competition carefully to avoid escalation into conflict, which could have catastrophic consequences for the world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and uplifts.